Today, Rinpoche went over the entire section on ethical discipline and the perfection of it, and showed how the perfection of ethical discipline is something from one's personal side. One personally becomes habituated with the idea of not harming sentient beings and with the idea of abstaining from all sources of harm of sentient beings. Okay, so we've arrived at the section on ethical discipline, and it's page 390 in the Tibetan. Thank you very much. Is it butter tea? So page 143 is where we see the 5 divisions begin and so forth in the English. Oh, great. Okay, so in the English, page 143.
다 티바 침비 주들로 창주 주 생제네 되네 쇼바 신도 장딩 바 신도 루장야 창주 주 생제네 다 신도 진바 주진 저바 준도 상태 싫어 지금 다 진바 차지 다 가서 주진 가들래도 말봐.
So when we look at the 6 perfections, so welcome everyone to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. Anyone who's new, we're in the section on a book called The Great Treatise on the Stage of the Path to Enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa. And specifically, we're on the section for training the mind, the stage of the path for beings of great capacity. So that section has a lot of different parts. And within that, we find the explanation of the 6 perfections. So we're currently going over the explanation of the 6 perfections. And when we look at them, we begin with generosity, and then ethics, and patience, then effort, and meditative concentration and wisdom. So we've currently already gone over generosity. So now we move on to ethical discipline, and it's chapter 11 in the English. So according to Lama Tsongkhapa, there are 5 categories under the section of the perfection of ethical discipline.
Niba chudin gombalan jubi taoji niba je somba chudin ji rodu yawa somba je tada jubi tse chada shawa jiba tada gitun duwa ngare mdwa ngaga na da tambu duwa de chudin ji ngon tambu de lewo imbare.
Okay, so within this there are 5 different categories. How to train in the perfection of ethical discipline. First category is what ethical discipline is. Second category is how to begin the cultivation of ethical discipline. The third category is the divisions of ethical discipline. Fourth category, how to practice. And the 5th category is a summary. So when we look at what ethical discipline is, that means the definition of ethical discipline. Less so.
the Jen Nung,
Less so.
Jen Jetan Jeba Leisha Lobe, Ponsen Tutin in Bes, with the Tutin Wond, what the Jagres, Tutin in Be. Saint the Gomba Gona Gondo, Yonso, Zobe, Tutin, Paru de Simba, Joa Yinjes. Jen Jetan Jebeson is Samba the Gona Gondo Pesonan, Tutin Paris Simba Lagres. Jen Sentient Galo never the Teat and Go Maris. Sang to ne, Jen never bombe, and Ponsen touching on the Digo Ramato, Jen never Mabaten Go Maris, Shajaman Buddha, Tutin Paradi Shin Sabar, Tanda, Sijela never Sijel Mobile Lady Oris, Sijel never Yumel Jogo Maris, Susu Jule, and the Sun Samba the Gond touching Sona, Tutin Paradi Shimbares, Paradi Shimbanjoa Yije. Parudo, Sentient, Nasuma Lubadan, Travala, Gobi Gune, Treatise Pajin Zuba Joa, Main Deza. Treating Paris was a Sentient Galo, and the Naba the Travala Goba and the Go Maris. Shajaman Buddha, Treating Paris Shin Sabaret, Tanda Sentient Naba Yakan Mamudu was. What is one thing said? Main De, the Maina, Tadun Sentient now. Nurse Dama de Hashem be Joanna, Treatise Pashi Mazuba Joa dance, and the Tata Sijan Naba Mobo and Hashem be Shaja Tubala Subalo, Treatise Pashi Yonsu Mazuba Jonagres, Tanda Sijan Naba Yodrota, Joa Dan, Tasichi Tangdua, Sijan Dada Jan, Nurse Dante Shuzu, Drum Nibis, Sijan Samalo, Nurse Jawa, Tenu Maris. The Munibi Sharos. Then I use a decent. Should do Sentient down. Tell Madela, lies. The Sentient also the ten and the Maden Chebaka Mares. Ranky Judin do. The Dala never lay Dubi, Ponsen, Combra Chebatani, Treatise, Yalan de Indes, Treating Yalan Radiores, Susan Shunjules. Nyala soba kanji do, tada swamin jo te, pon sen tuba le, sujin pari shimba shis, what they mare, shunju rong doa.
Less so.
What the college, you know?
Okay. So we begin with what ethical discipline is, and this is the definition of ethical discipline. Ethical discipline is an attitude of abstention that turns your mind away from harming others and from the sources of such harm. So this is the definition, if you will, of ethical discipline, because it's a mind that sets a motivation to abstain from harming others, harming sentient beings, and sources of such harm. Then the body and the speech follow that. So the mind sets the motivation to abstain from harming others and from sources of such harm, and then we physically don't harm. We don't engage in killing and harming sentient beings. Therefore, you bring about the perfection of ethical discipline by progressively increasing your habituation to this attitude until you reach completion. However, it is not the case that you bring the perfection of ethical discipline to completion in the external world by establishing beings in a state free of all harm. Otherwise, since there are still living beings who are not free from harm, the conquerors who visited in the past would absurdly have not completed the perfection of their ethical discipline and would therefore also not be able to guide these beings to freedom from harm. Hence, whether all living beings in the external world are free or not freed from harm makes no difference in this context. The practice of ethical discipline is just the habituation within your own mind to the attitude of abstention which turns away from harm to these beings. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds says. So where do we find this information about non-harm? Where do we find this information about setting a motivation and then following through with our body and speech? We find it in Shantideva's Engaging in the Bodhisattva Deeds, the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, where it says, "Where can beings such as fish be sent where they will not be killed? So it is said that by attaining an attitude of abstention, you perfect ethical discipline. So the meaning behind this is that when one has a perfection of ethical discipline, this is specifically speaking to his or her own state of mind and habituation with that reality. It doesn't mean that once he or she has perfected ethical discipline, because the goal of that is to bring all sentient beings to a place that's free from harm. Even though, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought, but even though there are still sentient beings who are suffering, the Buddha still has perfected his or her perfection of ethical discipline because it is a mental state that is pervaded with the thought which is free of harm of sentient beings. So it's a pervasive thought that comes from habituation, comes from familiarization with that thought. So over and over again, thinking about not harming sentient beings and not engaging in the sources of harm of sentient beings, over and over again, to the point where your mental continuum, your mind state, no longer has any potential to have that thought. It's pervaded with non-harm. So your mind is pervaded with non-harm, therefore your body and speech, your actions follow with non-harm. So this is what it means here. So the Buddhas that have come, it says the Buddhas who have visited in the past, if we say they are Buddhas, if we say they have realized Buddhahood, that means they have perfected those 6 things. One among them, the perfection of ethical discipline. So that means that those Buddhas who have come and who have become perfect have done so by perfecting this mental state. A perfect mental state, in this case, is a mental state that never has harm come into it. So that's what perfection is in the case of a Buddha. The perfection has perfected, the Buddha has perfected that state of mind that is free of all harm. So it's saying that, there can't be anywhere you could, in the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, there's nowhere that you could bring a fish that it could be, all fish could be sent to a place where they wouldn't be harmed in any way. So there's just no way to gather up all of them. But if you've perfected this idea, then you become an abstainer. I think I got everything. Dixon.
다 전에 제가 제발 뭐 선바데 수진이 뭐지 수진 가지 요하잖아 수진라 송 요하레스 수진라 송도 요매지스 근데 주 노미 수진 정도 전에 다 전에 제가 제발 뭐 선바데 수진 전이 있어야 네주 노미 수진 거 제발레스 노미 수진제 온도 전에 본선수 시도스 대한 굴론다 제비 굴론다 제비 온도 시나 마고와 좁은 일라스 굴론다 제바 전에 제다 제바서 굴론을 자고 저와 대한 굴론다 제비 온도 시나스 마고 좁은 유 본화주요라스 다 마고 좁은 거 주진을 잡아이나 마고 좁은 배네 주진주요 그래서 주용 그래서 본화주인라스 라게 ngöy wad chena magwa dün bombe le nga gi leje raji je pon dün yetes ta rag ngong ngong chena kulong ma ja ba je ngong ngong chena le je le na ba so nga ga na ba je bombe pon dün ja kures le je go na so je ba ma je ba le ma zan ba je ba je bombe pon je nga go na dün ta ma che so nga che je ba what the bombe pon dün res le jele nabas sonda jeno dün bare moyo ando chena magawa dün bombe le ngag le jele nabas ngaga nabas je dans son dün roi le ngag le je raji je bon dün des bon dün jondele se o man jo bande ba jiro jonde peje jo be rande jire tela nyemo ba Tanto Melambi,
okay, the Yabudu, the Kana. So now we move on to, when we look at the various divisions of ethical discipline, we find that there are three. Ethical discipline of restraint, ethical discipline of gathering virtue, and the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of sentient beings. But in the context of what there's more emphasis on, we would say the attitude of ethical engagement, or what is it, ethical discipline of restraint. That's the one that's more commonly focused on. Rinpoche read this paragraph and then gave some commentary. Although ethical discipline does indeed have three divisions, this is an addition: the ethical discipline of restraint, the ethical discipline of gathering virtue, the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings. It is explained in the context as the attitude of abstention in terms of ethical discipline of restraint, the principal division. So when we look at this, we're speaking of the various attitudes of ethics, such as the individual liberation ethics of the householders, the probationary, novice, and fully ordained status practitioners, and so forth, as well as the ethics which abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities. The attitude of restraint in terms of the actions of body comes out to a total of 7. So when we divide the 10 non-virtues up, we would say there are 3 non-virtues of the body, 4 non-virtues of the speech, and 3 non-virtues of the mind. So the 3 non-virtues of the body are killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. The 4 non-virtues of the speech are lying, harsh words, gossip, and divisive speech. So those are the 7 that are actual activities of the physical activities that they're speaking of here. Parentheses, the others are the mental activities. The other 3 non-virtues are the covetousness, harmful intent, and wrong views. So those are the mental ones. But here we're speaking of the physical. So these are the 7, the 3 non-virtues of the body and 4 non-virtues of the speech. These are the 10 non-virtues. Again, moreover in terms, let me just read this again. Moreover, in terms that include motivation, it is the 10 abstentions that eliminate the 10 non-virtues. And in terms of what it really is, it is the 7 abstentions, which are the natures of the actions of body and speech that abstain from the 7 non-virtues. And then we have Chandrakirti's explanation of the Middle Way commentary. This is actually an auto-commentary, so meaning that Chandrakirti's commentary was on the Mulya Madhyamika Karika, the root wisdom text by Nagarjuna. Then Chandrakirti wrote the Entrance to the Middle Way, which is a commentary on Nagarjuna's text. This text is a commentary on his own commentary, so it's called an auto-commentary. So that's what this is specifically here. So Chandrakirti's explanation of the Middle Way commentary, the Madhyamika Avatara Basya. Now Rinpoche didn't read further. He stopped there. That's where I'm going to stop. The Lung Lomason.
Deba manjun shir sen la ye jabi mashe sewa nyeje shirans ne deba manjun shir sen la ye jabi mashe nyomo bi mashewa nyomo lunga ge magi le mashewa mashe sewa nyeje shir sudi gedul setu la godo setu sewa nyeje shir shiran sudins de ju ba nyejes Judin Songina Dawayung, Sandal Dawayung, Java Shama Payla Dawayung, the Jim Imbishire, 담바다기 템버샤와 임비시나 수진레스 what 수진이 비주세 무슨 데서 얘는 제발 본에 상바데 수진이 녀모바 다도 몰라이 셔
Tambo.
데바면 셔 생라 이자 메셔와
Leso.
메시 세와니지 셔 세와 수진께도 세도서도 세와 도바 니지 셔랑 세도 임비 셔스 수진이스
The Sumba, the May, Nyepo Dorje, the Tambo, the Yoruba, NGK, the Yoruba, the Sikh Yoruba.
녀모바 단도 말레비 셔당사 녀모바 주진디가 녀모 단도 랭마로 만에 셔당 말레 녀모 단도 말레바 인장 주진리스
Dene?
주센지제
That's a.
데바만주 셔생라 이자비 메시 서와니 셔르
The
주진이스
Donagare.
그래서 그래서 주진 손나 속에 있는 령아가 데바 용고 말어다
Leso.
데바만주 셔르 생라 이자비 메시 생라 이자비
Yicha Sena? Senla Yicha?
이자비 메시 와서 뒤다도 여도에 안도샤 공도 좀 말해봤나 또 생라 이자비 메시 세완이 셔르 주진 속에 있는 맛이는 그래서 셔랑 대주임이 주진 속에 있는 도와 선들 도와 용거래 저와셔만 베질 도와 용거로 대주임이 니지 안 집어 담아 주고 냐순나야 돼스 대주임이 니지 담아 따기 집어 담아 따기 템버샤와 안 주진이 집어 담아 참아 송거래스 대인 손상 어때 주진이라 그래서 주진 에미션나 주진 데스 대한 봉화 dwi지 생이제노스 내가 봉화 가지고서 뉘어 뢰제를 나바서 나가 나바 제봉 봉화 뉘 생이제레스 추수부 마차바다 시담메바스 추수부 더샤메비 그자 시담메비 그자 뜨무메비 그자 손스 기자 손도 말베 더샤메비 그자 시담메비 그자 뜨무메비 그자 더샤 콘도 시담 손도 메비 그자 기자 손도 기자 손
Do some mitun show.
야다비 또 더다 군에 홍아시바 인데사 대시 군에 홍아시바 당 제비 추진정 원도 시내스 제는 제단 제바스 르가게 레단티 굴롱 이당 제바 수송고서와 원도 시내 레란조 나브르셰도스 레란조 magjo marba gwachu to magjo til jadin zar
Dene the gonga me bichirum che the andre the semla yicha pi me yichapi me the don't the
sala
gar
yeja be do sa kondu su tuta da ngasu sen de diyor ta sen tuta de yodan tuta de yicha be
junta sena gonga me bichi junta
de sa kondu
the ngama nge ducha sasong yapi omare
de sa
samadan
kondu ngasu sen le yo barota
leso
ye sen la yeja maresa
okay
jundun sen le yo be nyomo maro me
okay
수진 속에는 너무 멋지시는 그래서 시위 세와도바 자그레스 세와니지 셔르셔랑 수진레스 대주 수진 대주 이상 제가 담바다가 템바샤와레스 수진스 이상 수진레스 어 수진이 주세 무슨 데서
okay okay so now we have the entrance to the middle way auto commentary and there's one thing I'm looking up real quickly here. So it says it is the ethical discipline. It is called ethical discipline because it does not acquiesce in the afflictions, because it allows no sins to arise, because it is coolness since it quells the fire of regret, or because it is that upon which the excellent relies, since it is the cause of happiness. Moreover, it is characterized by 7 abstentions. These are motivated by 3 qualities: non-attachment, non-hostility, and correct view. Therefore, ethical discipline is explained as the 10 paths of action in terms that include motivation. So this first, it says it is called ethical discipline because it does not acquiesce in the afflictions. So what that means is it is not imbued with the afflictions. The afflictions are not mixed in with it in any way whatsoever. So I'm going to just explain the word. So the afflictions are, the ethical discipline is a discipline that is first free of afflictions. There isn't afflictions that are within it. It's a non-afflicted state because it allows no sins to arise. So ethical discipline is the antidote or the combatant to non-virtuous misdeeds. So when we engage in ethics, we're combating non-virtue. We're engaging in the thing that is an opponent to non-virtue, because it is coolness, since it quells the fire of regret. This is what I keep asking Rinpoche about. This word regret, I kept asking, it's in here, and the fire of regret. And this word that for regret is, Rinpoche explained the word that I'm questioning if it should be called regret. And he said that in the past we have these accumulations of attachment and non-virtue that are there. They are within us. So it quells that fire of those previous things within us. I'd have to look further. I was trying to see what the dictionary broke these words down into, but obviously there's not time to do that live. So I'm going to look further for my own reasoning. But it's a small detail, but it quells the fire of those past things that we did, of our previous kind of affinities, if you will, or because it is that upon which the excellent rely, because it is the cause of happiness. When we look at what causes happiness, virtue causes happiness. What causes suffering? Non-virtue causes suffering. Ethical discipline is a virtue. It is a virtue, this abstention, and then it's mentally and then physically. So it is a cause for happiness. So the excellent rely on it, since it is the cause of happiness, the foundation, if you will, of happiness. Moreover, it is characterized by 7 abstentions. So when we look at what one is abstaining from in terms of those 10 non-virtuous physically, there are those 7 mentioned, the 3 non-virtues of the body and 4 non-virtues of the speech. And then it says they are motivated by 3 qualities: the non-attachment, non-hostility, and correct view. These are the opposites of the 3 poisons. The 3 poisons of attachment, hatred, and delusion. Their opposites are their opponents, are their antidotes, and those are what motivates a proper ethical discipline. What motivates a proper ethical discipline. Therefore, ethical discipline is explained as the 10 paths of action in terms that include motivation. So it's saying that when we're speaking of ethical discipline, it's not just the physical action being carried out. It also includes the motivation behind that physical action. Just a translator's note, abstaining from killing is non-harm. I want to not harm beings, so I'm abstaining from killing. So that would be what an example of that meaning would mean. And okay, decent.
살된 저거를 사면나 신라서 저거 말어 드나지 주지면나 안내냐 되다라 제다 대정이 되지 저거 말어서 주지도 어때 사진도 말어서 주지도 여봐이나 안내 되 총라줄라 동라고라 물로라도 용거래 라제 총라줄라 동라고라 물로라 대정 총라줄라 gona mulolang what the samachi yongores chutin de denu yongore taba yongore sanji go yongores what the son do train jodam ju sajin do yenten ku jiden le pasons
less
what to say
yeah, you're right. Okay, so we see that ethical discipline over and over again is considered extremely important. We find it presented in many texts, including Nagarjuna's letter to a friend, or the friendly letter. And here, when Nagarjuna speaks of the 6 perfections, he points to ethical discipline and states that ethical discipline is like the foundation, just like the earth is the foundation for all things that grow. Ethical discipline is the foundation for all excellent qualities. So I'll find it later, but that's the point of it, is that ethical discipline is just like the basis, that just like the earth is the basis of all things, ethical discipline is the basis of all excellent qualities. Geshe Rinpoche.
What that never children going to be taught, children going to be taught, children going to be taught the lot, then what the Yaji Saji doing do, Tenema. Never doing on top of the theatre, Sentient, ne Shubala Luba Kilamba, then Sentient, Shanju to Sentient, Sentient Tantric, Zubu Sanju, Tuba Shao, the Chedo, and the Shindul Logging in a Kilan Luba Kilamba, then Kilamba, then Sentient Tantric, Zubu Sanji, Treatise Jenda, Treatise Jenda Demba, Druba Kilamba Yimbes, Sentient Tantric, Treatise Jenda Demba, Druba Kilamba Yimbe, Tibetan Buddhism, what the Treating Jenda, Magambale in Zebu, Majambale and Zebu, said Dangu Jenda de, and Magamba to Jambal than Zebu Mares. What the lady would do? The dress Saint-Jene, Shobal Luba Kilamba Dene, Sanjuju the Saint-Jene, and Shoba Shindula Luba Kilamba Dene, Sijanta Jubu Sanji, Tutinji, Jenda Deba Druba Kilamba Yimbes, and the Tutingi Jenda, Sijantanji, Tutingi Jenda Lugogi in Yaba Sanlu Gugu.
Less so.
Treating gender, sentient Tanji, treating gender Debalongo Bashaw Yabe. Treating gender Deba Duba Kilamba Yimbes, Shanju Sambas to Kilan to the Yimbe. They don't do goodness. Sentient Tanji, treating gender Deba de what they do not do goodness, do gulas. They are going to rank treating also tabi, to jigwithus. Jen sentient. Children the Devalango Bala, Tama Rangi Tento, Raju Chutin Abusong Gurus. Then the Yelamin Chutin, Jen Chutin Lango Gurus on the inside. Then I'm going to Chutin also tabi, Toji Gudes, Raju Chutin the Toji Gurus, Tojenzo Gurus, Rangi Chutin Madaba dance, Rangi Chutin Madaba, Chutin Yana, Chutin Yana, Nanu don't use. Suji Madabatan, Suji Johnson, what they Jebel, then Yawaida, Tonul Jagres, Tonu, Jenju, Tashu, Suji Madaba, Suji Yabayina, Jengatona Dubatashu, and then Randun Wakalekabres, Tashu Ranki, Toyamadubi Sheros, the Sherry La Tumbene, Sujin La Jede. Shawala, Tuba Majawa, Sondonla, Shinto Dingu desa. These regenji to La Germany, Sijantan Dubu Sanjo como Tubasha, Tish to Shindu Lag and Dabayaina, no what the Tutin Shiras Rogers, Dingu de Pashin Dubu Notam, Pashin Dubale, Dubu Sanji, Tutin Jendan Bass. Dubu Sanji Shajaman Buddha to Chujingi Jenda Debaro, Chuting Jenda Deba. Jenda Bar, Roa Tanji, Rodun Kantan Be, Rangi Chuting Toma, Yonso Jans, Pashin Dubale, Dubu Sanji, Shajaman, Chuting Jenda Debarava, Chuting Jenda Demba, Jenda Bar, Roa Tanji, Rodun Kantan Be, Rangi Toma Chuting Jans, Jen Tanji Chuting Gobala, Toma Rangi Chuting Apusong Gores, what is on the Rangi Chuting Toma Yonsu Jan, Chuting Tabe, Tui, Doji Jan, Dojan Jis, Chuting Tabe, no what the Chuting Dodia Gores, Nudu Chevazo Gores, J Dance, Chuting Yabe Randu. Chuting Yabe Randu Menu na Yendun Tula Tu Kala Wonsa. Chuting Yaba the Rangi Dunda Rumutuna and the Jenga Dunda Kane Mares. Yendun Tula Tu Kale Wons, Kale Won the Mares. Tea said Yendun Labatzumba, de la Renro Leba Riba Mensa. Jenga Dunda Yaba in a Chuting Swatele and Sazaji were something.
In Tumble.
Renro Leba Rima, what about the Thomas Hunter? She was.
Okay. So now we get into the next category, how to begin the cultivation of ethical discipline. So the method for cultivating ethics, ethical discipline. So according to Jayan Sheba's commentary in the text called The Four Interwoven Commentaries on the Difficult Points of the Great Treatise on the Stage of the Path to Enlightenment, we find, again, 7 categories in this section. So the first category is as follows. I'm going to, because Rinpoche did the commentary as he read it, I think that's how I'll do it, instead of reading it twice. As a person who generates the spirit of enlightenment and then promises to train in the Bodhisattva's deeds, you have promised to endow all living beings with the ornament of ethical discipline of the perfect Buddhas. Therefore, you must accomplish the aims of all beings. In this regard, you must first develop the strength of your own pure ethical discipline. For if your own ethical discipline is impure and degenerates, you will fall to a miserable rebirth and will therefore not even achieve your own welfare, never mind the welfare of others. So one must first practice and habituate, become familiar with his or her own ethical discipline. So by familiarizing oneself, you develop the strength of your own pure ethical discipline. So again, translators note, the word we use, we always say meditate, is the Tibetan word for gom, which just means to familiarize. We could have just 50 years ago translated as familiarizing, and it would have been more accurate. So here, becoming familiar with ethical discipline is meditating on ethical discipline, familiarizing yourself again and again, habituating yourself to this idea of ethical discipline, and that is how you develop the strength of your own ethical discipline, which then can allow you to achieve goals that will allow you to help others achieve their own pure ethical discipline. So the goal, the ultimate goal is for all sentient beings to become a Buddha. In order for that to happen, they have to have pure ethical discipline. In order for us to help others with ethical discipline, we have to perfect our own first. We have to familiarize ourselves with it so that we are able to then help others to achieve their welfare. So we look at Randun Shendun, our own needs and others' needs, or our own welfare and others' welfare. Here, in terms of ethical discipline, we first work and familiarize ourselves with our own so that we then may help others to achieve their aims. Hence, once you begin working for the welfare of others, value highly your ethical discipline. You need to sharply focus on safeguarding it and restraining your behavior. Do not be lax. The Compendium of Perfection states, so the Compendium of Perfections by Arya Shura, Lopun Bawo, those who strive to endow all beings with the ornament of the perfect Buddha's ethical discipline initially purify their own ethical discipline. With pure ethical discipline, they develop powerful strength. If you cannot achieve your own welfare with faulty ethical discipline, where will you get strength for the welfare of others? Therefore, those who strive for others' welfare do not relax their devotion to this. And also, Rinpoche mentioned that this ornament of ethical discipline makes all beings beautiful. So if someone is ethical discipline, if they are young, it makes it more, it has a beautifying quality, is a quality like an ornament or a jewel that they would put on. Or if someone's very young or someone's medium or very old, this becomes a jeweled ornament, whereas normal ornaments do not beautify everyone, whereas the ornament of ethical discipline beautifies everyone. Whereas normal jewels don't necessarily beautify everyone, ethical discipline does. So that completes the first among the 7 categories. I think I've got a Sampa Kangalasa.
Ta nipa de chujin la me go ba de dara sa tendre.
Bless so.
Chujin de dara. Chujin yun su ta ba. Jodu ki ne na. Chetra cheba tar la do. Lemba la rale las. Te an so an de bi lu shu ta jin ten bi Jesu shebe ma so yu ne me dan so yu pen ren do gon bi go ne ne son de cheba sha wo sa. 손도 제바 샤워사 다당 대들 추진 용수 다발란 조두기 추진 손부 편 마소미 년매 앞선 담바이나 안 추진 손발 가부 용거레스 대들 추진 용수 다바 조두기 추진 손부 편다 마소미 년매 조두기 내나 제다 제바다르 네 추진 사지기 제바 사지기 제바 로아스고 말로 제바 따라 라도 렘발라 라레베스 사지기 송바 나지 네 본자 본 송자 냐서 렘발라 라레그레스 라레라스 대양 송원데베 로 슈자진 템비 제수 셰베 만송의 예배다 추진 송도 로 슈자보 여바이나 자진 템비 제수 셰바 예배 만송비 예배다 추진 만송비 예배 송비 편 네 추진 송 편 든든 타바도 타지 좀 요로 만송비 예배를 내송 제야도 이제로다 예배다 송비 편에도 공비고네 송도 제바 샤오스 안 추진 송 대바용 다시 제고레스 대야 되니레스 다 루면 보고 인도 되니레 대유 메지 제바 통샤신 메지 제바 통샤신 수진 마송 예방 내송을 제야라 수비 제바도 셰바 제고레스 수진 마송 내송을 제거래 내송 제송은 가서 시거로다 제바 통고 예매 통샤신 보이 총야 나바 봉아지 보이 총야 나바 수진 조조진이나 되는 봉고레스 송고레스 보자 조조진이나 봉고레 수진 조조진이나 송고레스 보이 총야 나바 봉아지스 보자 조조진이나 봉고레스 셰바 따르 예매진지네 수진 마송 예매진지네 수진 마송나 내손을 제야라서 용거로다 안 들리신 가서 시거로다 지네 카나마도 중어 베베 본데스 안에 네바 조조진바 이나 르지네바 등하게 네바 조조진바 이나 안에 본고레 본데 수진지 모든 수지 라슈 먹이주부 먹이주 예매나 Hanshim Tar Sam Monsa Mogu Yemi Magawa Chini Chungsung Nyawa Yeda Tunrul Jigres, Gawa Chini Chungsung Lama Mel Jigres or what to Santang Wores on the Tar Sam Monsa. What about neighbors?
Then the Lopum Bao Lung Tsar this Nipatsar. Okay, so now we get into number 2. Moreover, such pure ethical discipline is based on the practice just as prescribed of what to adopt and what to cast aside. So here we begin to look at the benefits of engaging in ethical discipline and the downfalls of not engaging in ethical discipline. This, moreover, depends on a strong and stable attitude of wanting to safeguard your ethical discipline. Consequently, develop a desire to safeguard your ethical discipline by meditating for a long time on the grave consequence of not safeguarding it and the benefits of safeguarding it. With respect to the first, the grave consequences of not safeguarding your ethical discipline, the Compendium of Perfection says, "Therefore, see the unbearable fright and eliminate even the smallest thing that should be eliminated." So here, even the smaller non-virtues that seem not so bad, even those smaller things need to be eliminated. Every non-virtue, once you recognize the relationship between our actions and their consequences. When we look at virtuous deeds, there are degrees. Non-virtuous deeds, there are degrees. Buddhism shows that there are 2 realms, higher realms and lower realms. The higher realms are the human demigods and gods. The lower realms are hell, hungry ghosts, and animals. So how are these various experiences in the realms created? They're created by the degrees of virtue and non-virtue. There's a small, medium, and great degree of virtue, which creates a small, medium, and great degree of results. So a small degree of virtue creates a human realm, a medium degree demigod realm, and a great degree a god realm. And likewise, non-virtue does the same. Greatest degree of non-virtue creates a hell realm, medium degree hungry ghost, small degree animal. So once you see that your actions cause these results, non-virtue causes the lower realms, you will see the unbearable fright. You will have this unbearable fright. You will become scared. And as a result, you will eliminate even the smallest things that could cause that to happen. So knowing that non-virtue leads to suffering, you see what suffering is, you eliminate even the smallest thing because you don't want any of that. Dixon.
Middletown, that call Lomba Yosatable, Namba, the Shabak, and Taco, Kokaba in Barwa. And look, Aman learn what a Kibashida is, and what about Namba, the Shabak, and Kokaba is, Aman learn in Jero. Amagatan, that you kill Mares.
Less so.
That should Kibaina, should Nalendal Sandan, Chokasunan, Chokibares.
Less so.
Should Nalendal Rojus, Amagan Nalendal Tamba in Sadadua. Then ko nalendal penne. Then what the and what the tumor and what no meditation zune. Then I do upon what I do upon.
Less so.
Then I do upon the nalendal liberty nalu kutun kai.
Less so.
Meditation do the nalendal liberty nalu chun kai yimberta.
Less so.
Then nalu what the Meditation with the cool long time over a long time. One by no day on the Jamakunda Regressiage. Swagic long time over a could push at the load in Yerota. And could push at the load now, Nalenta Kuno long time to go Tomba in Yerota. Kuno Tondu, the no cook over there, that Goshe with an Ashaba Pugi in star. And then Naval come over down Diba Musa Savares. No, all Lama to Geneva what they could do some in Sego Marbe. All Lama to Geneva, Chenmo Shabachi Euro, what the soon there, and no good Nalenta and Matuna, and no good the Nabachavares. Shiru Matibarawa, Nabacha to Kulanzo, Omatanjo Chasons, Omatanjoa, could be retouchable in Yerota. 그 나바차오도 담은네 시라마 센자보 오마바 라주바 탄조니로 탄조니는 오마 탄조어서
Then the Meti Dayan, the Benzukang Goshe, then the the Garish.
Meti Dayan da ku Benzukang da nga namba jigins shiruba jigmes.
Lesso.
And then namba gaba mujan deba musa sabar.
Lesso.
All along Jesus so the Shabbat Shaba.
Oh, Deepa Shaba.
Deepa Shaba.
Oh, Gonga Mepichi.
Da. And then azu chajin no de Donsha Shisha said Meditan somebody said.
Ale, Kombecha, Shesha?
What the all Lama Chimbola was Shabbat. What the Meditan Chiba said.
Okay. So the story of Aryashura. So Aryashura was previously known as Miti Dayan, and he was a non-Buddhist. He was from a place where Buddhists and non-Buddhists debated quite regularly, and he was considered the greatest scholar where he was from. So he went to his mother and said, "I'm the greatest scholar there is. There is no one who can defeat me, Buddhist or non-Buddhist. I am the king of scholars." So his mother said, "It's true. Where we are right now, there is no one who can defeat you. But the only way that you can truly say that you have this degree of understanding is to go where the greatest scholars of the Buddhist tradition are." So she said, "You need to go to Namgyal Monastery, and once you go there and debate, if you are able to prove your wisdom there is your intelligence is superior there, then you can proclaim that you're the greatest scholar in the world. So first you must go to Nalanda." So he went to Nalanda, and he met with Aryadeva. And Aryadeva, when Rinpoche is saying Aryadeva is in the picture over here, I'd have to look close. I don't know which one exactly. The shape, the Kata?
Second.
The second one. Oh, okay. So the first is Nagarjuna. Aryadeva is considered Nagarjuna's spiritual son. So that's the reason that we have Aryadeva right next to Nagarjuna. And then it's probably Chandrakirti somewhere there. Okay, yeah, those would all been. Shanti Deva's probably in there. Okay, yeah, so these are, anyway, not to get sidetracked, these are all Madhyamaka masters, and that's actually relevant into what Rinpoche just explained. So we'll get to that. So Aryadeva debated Meti Dayan at that point, and even though Meti Dayan was very intelligent, he could not defeat Aryadeva's Madhyamika and middle way logic. So he actually was part of this. He was then locked in a jail, which was the library of the monastery. So in this library where he was locked, he began reading Buddhist scriptures and began figuring out where they were able to stop his logic and why. So he started reading these at first to figure out how he was defeated, but then he had a great faith emerge because he saw that it was truth. And after some time, the doors of the, and I don't know how, if it's a jail, how the doors open. So that's why I don't think it's like a real jail like we're thinking. I think he was just, here, go in the library and stay there. You've lost. And so the doors open, and he says, he proclaims that he's a Buddhist, and that he has seen the error in his ways, and that he has created large amounts of non-virtue by spreading wrong views. And at that point, he wrote a text, which is a confession text. I don't know the name of it. It's a confession. So it's one of Aryashura's texts. I don't know that if I've seen it, but it's a confession text. And then he wrote that because he knew that he had completed so many non-virtuous deeds. And Rinpoche said it's a confession text similar in line with the 35 Buddhas of Confession, the Sutra of the Three Heaps confession text. So similar in that it is a confession. So Meti Dayan made this announcement that he had become Buddhist, and that because of these studying and all of these scriptures that he had read, and then he began to study more, and became a teacher and became one of the greatest scholars of the Indian tradition. And when we look at the tenet systems of Indian Buddhism or tenet systems of Tibetan Buddhism, we find that there are four. There is the Great Exposition School, which is Vaibhashika. There is the Sutrantika school, the Sutra school, the Sutra school or Sautrantika school, the Mind-only school, Chittamantran, and the Middle Way school, which is Madhyamaka. Now, this is in the order that I just gave them was in order of the lowest to highest school, and the highest school is the Middle Way school. Middle Way school has two categories: the Middle Way autonomy and the Middle Way consequence. The Middle Way consequence is the highest school in all of the tenet systems. It's called the Madhyamika Prasangika school. And it's the highest tenet system in terms of nature of reality in Buddhism. And this is the tenet that Aryashura, he became known as Aryashura after being known as Miti Dayan. He became known as Aryashura or Lopun Bao in Tibetan. And he became a great scholar in the highest tenets of the Middle Way consequence school. That's it.
Middletown Nalantal Pebe Godler and the Gomolodu and the Nalantal Samaris. Losu Beji to the Bashutuma, Pitarim Waters. And then what the Middletown Nalantal Lenuku Nalantal Trabasul do Dangurda. And then Nalantal Trabasu Yigijina and the Suman doing the showers. Suma Karina, what in doing the Jane. Then Suma took a Puro Sharu. Sharuji Yagid Kena, Lusu Bejer Kesmores, Gomolo Rultin, what the Madita Nalatal and Kalikabuzundus, Gomolo Peruches.
Then
what the Puro de Yagid Kena, Lusu Bejer, Gomolo Rul Furoda. Then Gomolo, I am the Kesachino, that I had Ludu Pegu and 100 degrees. Okay,
then it's up a mambo some la yene tambo the shati the su yigi trisum. Drapa?
Yeah, get again Nalanda
Nalanda drapa.
What the shati the somag to one euro, the mapachitra.
I see.
What you get the kid.
Okay. Less so. So the story of how this occurred, if we back it up. So then the Gari Tarimbo, Nagarjuna Sacha, Nalanda? Okay, all right. So the way the story goes is that when Miti Dayan arrived at Nalanda, there weren't, Aryadeva wasn't there at this time. There were other monks that were debating Miti Dayan. And Rinpoche wanted to give more of the story. So there were other monks that were debating Miti Dayan, and they were having an immense amount of trouble. They weren't able to completely stop his views either. And so what happened was one of the Nalanda monks wrote a letter and said to Nagarjuna, saying that there was this problem going on where someone had arrived and no one there could defeat his logic. So apparently a bird arrives. If I mix up any parts of this, I apologize. A bird arrives and emanates a protector deity who then carries this letter to Nagarjuna. So apparently where Nagarjuna lives at that time is very, very far from Nalanda Monastery. It's not somewhere that you can just send someone to with a messenger. Very, very far. So this protector deity emanates from a bird, carries this letter to Nagarjuna, and then Nagarjuna and Aryadeva have a conversation about this. Nagarjuna says, it's not necessary for me to go. You can go in my place, Aryadeva. As a translator's note, as I said before, Aryadeva is considered Nagarjuna's spiritual son. So he said, you can go in my place, and that's the kind of beginning of the story, how then Aryadeva ends up. Then the Aryadeva Khandre. Okay, so I said, so how did Aryadeva get there? So he said that perhaps the protector through some magical emanation. So there's a magical emanation takes place that this protector comes out of this bird, magically emanates out of this bird. And Rinpoche said, perhaps this carried Aryadeva. So then Aryadeva debated Metidayan and then defeated his views.
So
when we see these quotes from the Compendium of Perfections by Aryashura, that is who we're talking about. We're talking about someone who was previously a non-Buddhist, who then went through these series of events just explained in the story, and then became one of the greatest scholars ever. Okay, so now that completes number 2, and now we move on to number 3 among the 7. The benefits. Okay, so just real quickly, I need to read a little further for number 2 to complete. Thus, once you are frightened by the grave consequences of your misdeeds, you strive to abstain from even the small ones. Think, as explained earlier, about the grave consequences of the 10 non-virtues, the coarsest factors incompatible with ethical discipline. So that completes number 2. Number 3, with respect to the benefits of safeguarding your ethical discipline, they are explained earlier and set forth by the glorious Aryashura in his Compendium of Perfections. The divine substances, the resources of humans in which to delight, and the supreme bliss and supreme taste, which are the wonders of the deities. Does anything more marvelous come from ethical discipline? Even the Buddhas and the teaching arise from it. So previously, Rinpoche quoted the Nagarjuna text, the letter to a friend, and he just referenced it again, and I'd found it. So here it's very similar to what the letter to a friend says, that where does anything more marvelous come from ethical discipline? Even the Buddhas and the teachings arise from it. And in Nagarjuna's text, the first 2 sentences aren't the ones related, but it's part of a stanza, so I'll read it. You should practice a morality unbroken, not debased, undefiled, untainted, uncorrupted. Here it is. Morality was declared the foundation for all virtue, just as the earth is for all things moving and unmoving. So here, this is from Nagarjuna's letter to a friend showing that basis, and here again in Lopun Bao or Aryashura's Compendium of Perfections having a similar sentiment about the benefits of safeguarding ethical discipline. Number 3. Digso.
年续ji sabun tangji pombi ishe zama toba dan jen yang hajan yunba dan hajan genba la ta na shiji nasun ju menzi jans suji jen ne genjun ba ma sula den yang tangji gawa jibi jenji chu dan zhezhuanbi jen zhezhuanbi jen ne zishu su ruyan zishu mayinba mandriyu shuruwa yin las sujin jabi zhene shu tangji to ruyu cadung si yu zenden dang zenden la subi degu shuba ne rajun la geyan ne nyo mobe cadung jubi shuba ne rajun la menge shin tunba dang radu shun yu da zang denba dayan sujin ji nuan dang denba ne yin le pido shunwa dang jode denyin les da ma ga long den ji le ba yu sujin de ne chaba tubi le lang yin ji nga jen na dang yang ba zhu e shi zang ma pi ji rang jin de juan de jen dun ju chu ji xia kan song gun do yin wong zhi song de ra du shung dang ma yung shu ba yin si ra du shung su jin jen de ra du shung wa lai jen xia de ra du ma yung wa lai jen xia de se dang wa ki jen xia de me ge bu lai jen xia de ge de ge bu dang shun ba lai jen xia de ge ma re si wa du su lai dang du shu ba yin cha lu tun yang su jin jen den ju na me na tene pa ba ju ru me na che ba pa ba yung re si wa ta ba dun de shiba de no shiba shiba jen de la tene ju gon de shiba dun ro wa da ji ji nga je san ba chen ba na da fa ba chu ma ju wa da nian shui ji sabun tang ji pong bi e shi zang ma toba dang jen ne hajan yunba dang se dong gi jen cha de hajan yunba de genba la dan zebu yo ma res yunba dang hajan genba la ta na shi ji ne sun ju yus ne shali ja gre se ma zu bu chu ju dang genba zu go de se dong gi jen cha ta na ma de jen genba ga res she su ju ma ze jans chu ji jen de ne मैं के बात ना जो बात छमा की जेन छा रेस मजे जान छुटी जी जेन ने गेजन बामा सोला दे या थाजे गवा जे भी जेन जी छु रेस छुटी की जेन की छु रेस मैं के बगे जेन छु जा रे छु रे जो बारे के जेन जी छु रेस ट्रेजम्बो जेन ने जिसु रो या ने जिसु माइन बा मन ru शुरू वाइन ला Sujin ji trabi zhene shu tangji lugres, shu tangji zhuwa tang, cadung si zenden la subi degu shuba, rajung lang ge yang, nyo mobi cadung si yu shuba ne rajung la menge xin tunba tang, radu shung yu da zang denba rayang, sujin ji nyo tang denba ne, jen pido shungwa jode tenyi les lube bayi pashin duba di manro sujin tenne cheba tubi lang sujin shungzana wade jen cheba tubi lang de res hinji nga jen na tang nyamba zhu hinji nga jen na tang ne wade sujin nyamba zhu ishe zangma pyuji rangjin de Junde Jento Ju Chujisha, Junde Jento Chujisha, Chuding Jente, Jenjeli Shabata Papares, Jen Chujisha, Kansong Gun de Yong, Tresonte, Chuding Jente Yoba in a Kansong Chanumano, Kuchiki La Gigi Lana, and Chanumano, Tresonte, Rodushu the Majon, Rodusung Shobai Majumba Shobares, Shobai. Shooting Shubat, Rod Juan and Zebre, Rod Majuan and Zebres, Chalu Tun, shooting Jendana, Chalu Tun, shooting Gijenda Dabaina, May Nana, then the Papa and your main on Chabat Baba, shooting Jenda Daba Chabat Baba Yungres, Shedan, what about Jibat Tade?
Okay, so now we move on to number 4. Furthermore, in dependence on ethical discipline, your mind stream progressively develops. Your trainings becomes the same as that of the Mahasattva Bodhisattvas who have a compassionate nature, and you attain the pure sublime wisdom that eliminates all seeds of wrongdoing. When worldly ornaments adorn the very young or very old, they make these persons seem ridiculous and therefore ugly. But no matter who has the ornament of ethical discipline, old, young, or in between, it delights everyone. Thus it is the best of ornaments. The pleasant fragrance of ethical discipline's good name spreads in all directions, whereas other pleasant fragrances must follow the direction of the wind and are thus limited. A lotion scented of sandalwood which relieves the torment of heat is prohibited for renunciates, but a lotion which protects against the torturous heat of the afflictions is not prohibited and appropriate for them. Someone who copies the outer appearance of being a renunciate, but who has the jewel of ethical discipline, is superior to others. The Compendium of Perfection says, ethical discipline is the path of special attainment, achieves equality with those of compassionate nature, and has the highest nature of pure, sublime wisdom. Free of flaws, it is called the best of ornaments. It is a pleasant fragrance throughout the 3 realms, and a lotion not prohibited for a renunciate. Even those who copy appropriate attire, if they have ethical discipline, will be superior to other human beings. So this is the excellent qualities, again, furthermore added onto of ethical discipline. And again, Arya Shura's text is quoted there as well.
Samba Chemba Tomba, Chutin to Songa Yena, Niji Najan, Satamani, Somba La Sobe, Niji Najan, Shanju Samba the Tomba in the Gres, Faba Tomba Joa dance, Chutin Somba Tondrota, Joa dan, Nianshu, Saban Tanji Pombi, Ishitama Toba dan, Nianshu, Saban Tanji Pombi, Ishitama Toba dance. Jen Hajan Jumbadan, Hajan Gambala, Tana, Shijis, the Sedong Genja, the Hajan Gamba to Jumbalatana, and Shalija, Gamugagres, Shijis, Nasunju, Manzejans, Chudiji Jene, Gejubama Sula Dayan, Tanji Gawaji, Genji Chudans, Chudin Jende, Namagamba Yoba Inea, Gejubama. Chamala wate jengi chures, chudin jene, gejen bama sola denyan, tanji gawaji jenji chudansa, chudin jene, gejen bama sola tanji jengi chures, chudan. Tezomba jene, zeshu sun druyan, zeshu mayimba melu, shurawa yinlas, chudin jitabi jene, Shu Tangil Rores, Kuchiki Lol Shanta Tangil Roatan. Sadon Sun Senela Sobe, the Gu Shubane, Rajun Langayan, Sadon Sun Seneg Treg, what the Rodjon Chugu Maravata. Rajun Langayan, Newman Sadon Jobi Shubanes, Chudin Shubane, Rajun Lamagation. Rajin Magaji Tumbatan, Rajun Chudin, you know what the Chudin Rajun the Tumba in the Tumbatan. Rotushun, Tazan Demba, Dayan, Tsutinji Northern Dembane, Jenny Pudushun, Judes, Tsutingi what the Tazan Demba Dayan, Tsutingi Tazan Demba Dayan, Tsutinji Northern Dembane, Tsutingi Yobaina, Jenny Chebato Cheber. Jenle Pudushun Judes, and the Jenle Pudushun, Sutin the Yobaina, and the Jenle Pudushun Renagres, Jude, the Niles, Passion to what the Nin. Sutin then the Cheba to be lance, Sutin the Yobaina, Jenle Cheba to be lance, the Yungres, Hinji Nga Jenata, Satamania Balasubi, Hinji Nga Jaju Sabatea, Nyabadro. Ishitama Puji Rajinte, Ishitama Puji Rajinte, Twente Gentle Ju, Chuji Sha, Kansung Gundo, Yon to Sonte, Jigi Lol Kansung Chanu, to Sonte, Rodu Shonda Majun, Rodu Shonga Genja, Rodu Majunga Genja, Sutin Yuna, Rodu Shonda Majun. Shubayin Chalu Tuyan, Tsutin Danjuna, Chalu Tuyan, Tsutin Danjuna, Mayinana, then the Papa, you may not Chebat Papa, you what is Tsutin Tin Judaman, you Sergeant, you then could you then Lebasonso, what does W was at She dance, what about do Jebat Sandre?
Okay. So now, Rinpoche just went through number 4 again with some details. Furthermore, in dependence on ethical discipline, your mind progressively develops. Your training becomes the same as that of the Mahasattva bodhisattvas. So this is speaking of those bodhisattvas who have entered the grounds of the first ground, second ground, third ground, or the 10 bodhisattva grounds, who have a compassionate nature, and you attain the pure sublime wisdom that eliminates all seeds of wrongdoing. When worldly adornments adorn the very young or very old, these make these persons seem ridiculous and therefore ugly. So if you put on a little baby or child a bunch of earrings and jewels and so forth, you would laugh if you saw that. Or if there was someone who was extremely old with all kinds of ornaments all over them, you would laugh. It wouldn't make them look more beautiful. It would look strange. Whereas ethical discipline, when worn by anyone, always beautifies them. So when worldly ornaments adorn the very young or very old, they make these persons seem ridiculous and therefore ugly. But no matter who has the ornament of ethical discipline, old, young, or in between, it delights everyone. Thus it is the best of ornaments. The pleasant fragrance of ethical discipline's good name spreads in all directions, whereas other pleasant fragrances must follow the direction of the wind and are thus limited. A lotion of scented sandalwood, which relieves the torment of heat, is prohibited for renunciates, but a lotion which protects against the torturous heat of the afflictions is not prohibited and is appropriate for them. Someone who copies the outer appearance of being a renunciate who has the jewel of ethical discipline is superior to others. Arya Shura's Compendium of Training says, ethical discipline is the path of special attainment, achieves equality with those of compassionate nature, and has the highest nature of sublime wisdom. Free of flaws, it is called the best of ornaments, and is a fragrance throughout the 3 realms, form, formless, and desire realm, and a lotion not prohibited for renunciate. And those who copy appropriate attire, if they have ethical discipline, will be superior to other human beings. That concludes number 4. Then ngapa jeon.
Ta ngapa jeon raja ngapa jeon jasa ki chi ma ju jin be jun ji chi ji ma ru jang ne nyawa ku long shui dang nga ki doa da trabi leji deba me jang chu gun deba da nga ki rang ki nye la su re su me su me ba da ha pe ma ta jang ngum ma ta ba da ngum shi bi chu na jang rang ki nga ki shang ba da ka bi je je sa du yang la da me shu zu do tu jin tu ba da, shui bi xin tu chi wa la su bi, Pena, Tudin Lenjon de Daniele, Body Bashi de Batiniman, Daniele, Chidu Maju Jan, Nyansu Kui Lonshu Rendundo. Deba member, Jide Gundu de Seme Madu, Onshu Tubanjoro, Jodo Mayu, Resu Jongwadan, Pendan Yaba Kanyan Maje Jan, Hunji Meshi Ju Tanji Jan, Chudin Dembe Ju Talandus, Gambi Saji Jubi Duda Jan, Shizu Dado Land Ladame, Shaz Galunga was Chudin was Gamba was Sadu, Kendall Hadame, Shulajan, Shaze Tribus Yagres, Hadame, Shazengu, Godu, Toba Gundu Chir, Gundu Chudin, then Chudin Tadan, Desher Chudin Danden, Richuin, Shezos, what the battle, what the Chandre.
Ngapa.
Okay.
So now number 5. Furthermore, other benefits arise from ethical discipline. Though you do not speak flattering words and do not strive with great effort and hardship, you naturally gather immediately necessary resources. Even without threats of force, all beings pay homage to you. There is no casual talk about the lineage of your relatives, etc. People who previously did not know you or help you are naturally kind to you. And deities and humans revere the dust of your footprint and carry away what they can get as an object of worship. The Compendium of Perfection states, even without speaking or undertaking hardship, you gather immediate necessities and service. Without threat, all the world pays homage to you. You obtain power effortlessly and without toil. You are among those about whom it is improper to talk casually. Even all persons who did not know previously, who have not helped you or done what you need, pay homage to you, a person with ethical discipline. Excellent beings revere the dust blessed by your feet, touching their heads to it. Deities and humans bow to it, place it on the crown of their heads, and carry away what they can get. Therefore, one who has ethical discipline is in supreme lineage. So that completes number 5.
Sambi Kebes, the Pendan, Sutisum Pen, Mason Yemi, what in the Sontambe, Sambi Kebes, Sambi Kebe, the Niles Paji de Bateniro, Shanchu Sembe, Son you Sutinta, Shanchu Sembe Son you Sutinta, Rangi Della, Gambi Tremejas, Rangi Della, Gambi Tremeja, Gambi Tre. Kamba will Tamada Zichu Marzameno, She dance, Rawajubi, Nyazu Dawadan, Rawajubi Nyazu Dawadan, Keeping Hambi, Jenden Tutin Sonsa, Rawajubi, Delangova Tutin Songina, and then Susu Dua Tours, Hadame, Tanatoya, Tabata Tanji Shambala Suba, Tubal to be painted to the Yungores, Rawajubi Nyazu Dawadan. Salatanji Wungores, Kebe Habe, Sutin Songa in Kebato Hajumo Yungores, Chin Judamaju Sergeant, Yankuji then Lebasons, Sutin you should Tamatribicho, Yamon Sadunse in Dawi, Chigu in Alhambatabuji, Doji Deba Member Dragundus, Sutin Songa and Jenda Dadan to do Yungores, what the song do Alani do then. Sutin you should Dramatribute, Yamun Sadunse in Dawi, Chigu in Alhambatabuji, Doji Deba Member Dragundu. What does the double thing said?
Then it's our Ngapa
Tata Truban Ruva, to the parent on Yemi, Tater parent on Yemi, Lever, shebi KBS Chudin Sum Payadang Masumi Nyemi Lega shebi KB Tenyi Le Pashin Duba Tenyi Yijirwa Shanchu Senpi Sunyu Chudin Ta Rangi Dela Kambi Temejas Chudin Ki Wate Dembi Wate Trematu Su Kamba Ul Jichu Masung Tenyi Yijire Temejas She Dans Rawan Jubi Nyansu Dewa Dans Rawan Jubi Chudin Sunga Rawan Jubi Nsaro Tangil Dewa Yungures Dewa Dans KB Ngabe Jenden Chudin Songs Chudin Duwade Kebazu Ngaju Muyo Chudin Ngaju Munduwade Tini Jodam Maju Sargento Yenten Kun Jiten Lebason Chudin Yishe Dramat Tribichu Nyamu Sadung Su Dayu Chugu Nalhambu Tabuji Tuji Deba Meman Drogundus What does Chudin Haba Musung or Song to Lady Zade?
Then Ngapa Drupa Gunga Mebachi.
The Drupa.
Okay, so we're on 6? Is that okay? So the wise who reflect well on these benefits and grave consequences must safeguard their ethical discipline, as the Compendium of Perfection states. Due to craving for their own happiness, bodhisattvas will not compromise ethical discipline, which must be protected. Dene kaba ka gonga mebachi.
The car, she is on what are gonlas or whatever the car. They are on one as the Dumba Leon, Yajibe.
Okay, that's go. Deyan?
Rangan as the Dumba.
Okay. Deyang, Rang Dun. So, okay. Gunzo.
They are Penat and Yemis Leber Sambi Kebe, Sambi Kebe, Tenile, Pajiduba Tenile. Shanju Senpi Sunyu Chudin Ta Rangi Dela Kambi Zimajas.
Okay.
Chudin Deba Tama what the Kaleju.
Okay, Drupa. Okay, so now I know where number 6 ends. And also, because you control yourself, you experience happiness. Because you have the ornament praised by the learned, you safeguard ethical discipline. As you bring to perfection all trainings, rely on ethical discipline completely and without pride. So here, this is more of the benefits of ethical discipline. It's very similar to what we find in Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim Duden, the abbreviated stages of the path, where it speaks of ethical discipline. Moral discipline is the water to wash away the sins of faulty actions. It is the ray of moonlight to cool the scorching heat of delusions. Radiantly, it makes you radiant like a Mount Meru in the midst of the 9 kinds of beings. By its power, you are able to bend all beings to your good influence without recourse to mesmerizing glares. Knowing this, the holy ones have safeguarded as they would their eyes the rules they have accepted to keep purely. I, the yogi, have practiced just that. If you would also seek liberation, please cultivate yourself in this way. So that's from the abbreviated stages of the path, just showing more of these benefits due to a craving for their own happiness. So bodhisattvas recognize that ethical discipline leads to happiness. Bodhisattvas want to have happiness. Therefore, they engage in ethical discipline because one of the byproducts of that is happiness. Bodhisattvas will not compromise their ethical discipline, which must be protected. So similar to protected, like to the eyes, is mentioned in the great abbreviated stages of the path, that bodhisattvas would protect ethical discipline like they would even their own eyes. Because you control yourself, you experience happiness. Because you have the ornament praised by the learned, you safeguard ethical discipline. As you bring to perfection all trainings, rely on ethical discipline completely without pride. So that completes number 6, and number 7 begins with, moreover, you have cleared away your mere fear of the miserable realms and your wish for the mere excellences of the deities or humans. Safeguard your ethical discipline for the sake of establishing all living beings in ethical discipline. And then Aryashura's Compendium of Perfection states, the Lung Lo, Aryashura, Lovung Bao, Bao Lung.
Choba Chanu Mara, Choba, Duba Tayang, Tayang, and Sonki Jiba Zang, Latang, May, Person Choba Zang La, Pemba Sene, Sentient Chudin La, Gobi Ledo, Song, Chudin Song Tayang, and Latang May, Nan Sonki Jiba Zang, Latang, May, Person Choba Zang La, Pemba Mala ta zang jeju mares. Sentient tantric sutin go be che sutin song ja ba yina an de su sha le yong res. Nga sun de le sun de ge soma de sha le yong ro ta. De ta na de le sun na an de ge soma de yong ro ta. Wo de sha le yong res wo de song de sa.
Okay, so moreover, after you have cleared away your mere fear of the miserable realms and your wish for the mere excellence of the deities or humans, safeguard your ethical discipline for the sake of establishing all living beings in ethical discipline. The Compendium of Perfection states, whoever aspires to establish in pure ethical discipline every living being in worlds beyond measure and relies on ethical discipline to benefit the world is said to bring ethical discipline to perfection. Therefore, clear away fear of the miserable realms and wish for the marvels of kingdoms in high status. Safeguard a flawless ethical discipline and depend on ethical discipline because you are striving for the welfare of the world.
Ta dunba teang nga song ki jiba tang tang la da me phasung chu ba zang la phang ba se nes an chu tin song a de ya an nga song ta ya da an la da me tan zang tu ba da zang san tang ju ma res sentient tantric chu tin lu ya de san tang ba yina an nga song ta ya da la da me tan zang tu ba sha le yong res teang nga song ki jiba tang tang la da me phasung chu ba zang la phang ba se ne sentient tantric chu tin lang go be she do chu tin song go re song a sha de pa jin du ba de ni le ga ji ji den pa ye sentient da ya da chu tin da la go me shin sentient tantric chu tin lang go ya ge sang dang go re ji den pen she chu tin den she ba ji den sentient tantric la pen be she do 추진 어디 송바이나 된지바 된 추진 바로 신바 송스 추진 바로 신바 용거레스 추진 바로 신바 송 추진 바로 신바 대유 내송 지당 제시당 트레 변송 출라 한세데스 네 내송 타다 덴도 투비 변화스 따주요 말스 신전 단지 추진은 거야 상당바이나 안에 내손 지발 타 샬 용거래 하다 메 때도 또 샬 용거래 상당 거 말에 대 용거래 송대서 대유 내손 지당 제시당 트레 변송 소라 현세대 변화자고 말 대 용거래 송대서 최진 대양 야다 송샤신 지대 달라 준비 최진 데스 지대 달라 되게 근데 생전 단지 추진 송자기나 셰소서 어때 다 듬바 찬데.
So just once more, moreover, after you've cleared away your mere fear of the miserable realms and your wish for the mere excellence of the deities or humans, safeguard your ethical discipline for the sake of establishing all living beings in ethical discipline. So it's not enough. That isn't the goal, to just be free for yourself, to not have to go to the lower realms so you have the higher realms. Once you've established this fear and decided that you want to engage in ethics, you do it for the sake of others. And then we see in the Compendium of Perfections, so I'll read the whole thing. Moreover, after you've cleared away your mere fear of the miserable realms and your wish for the mere excellences of deities or humans, safeguard your ethical discipline for the sake of establishing all living beings in ethical discipline. The Compendium of Perfection states, whoever aspires to establish in pure ethical discipline every living being in worlds beyond measure and relies on ethical discipline to benefit the world is said to bring ethical discipline to perfection. Therefore, clear away the fear of miserable realms and wish for the marvels of kings of high status, safeguard a flawless ethical discipline, and depend on ethical discipline, because you are striving for the welfare of the world. So your main motivation should end up at a place where you're doing it for all sentient beings, not for your own aims. Then so that completes number 7. Then a tearing atsu zundu yore.
Yeah, okay.
The dutsu yore ngatsu karma nishu yore triwa dan lenja.
Okay. Yeah.
The Rinpoche, the nga triwa yure, the me kashe triwa chipa.
Okay.
The tonglen gom, the sheda ke chempeldu, gangin serna becha kashe kakare. The tonglen gom, the u napo, the nakom eba, Unapo?
수수 거요로 거와데 오바도도 나고 여바네 왜 가비 나봐 시전 타질 보네
Nakon Yumba. Yumba. Gangisena becha kashe nyakom the
여바네
Eba.
거와도 그 가비 나봐 여바는 파트네 시전 타질 보네 시전 타질 도와는 대송냐비 샤바공아 말베
Lesso.
샤바공아
Lesso.
되네 체태운도 왜 나비 나봐 시전 타질 제가 나시 동행라서 왜 나비 나봐 수술 체태 송냐비 기저공아 시전도 타질도 간다 대송냐비
Nakom Eba.
예번 체태
Okay. Gangisena the Geshe Lharampa becha, dan Rabten becha, the kakare. The konso kelen, the nakom, the nyumba, the unapi, ten, nakom eba, the garpo.
Go 나고에 받는 여가비 나봐 세전 타질 보네 집을 종소냐비 샴바공아 도와단데 봐 체태운도 시전 타질 제가 나지 동행라서 왜 나비 나봐 하고 에바는 수술 체태네 시전 타질 동행도 대송냐비 기지공아 어떤 거는 되고
Okay. Then they tama.
돈을 놀라주면 체내제
Then they becha kabiare the Rinpoche, the sawa becha, the eba nyumba, the becha yurube Rinpoche, the
보잖아요.
natsu yure, ngatungu. Okay, so what we're talking about is something we've all been talking about quite a bit. Is this giving and taking meditation, and how when you meditate you are inhaling suffering and of sentient beings, and exhaling all of your root virtues and giving them all of happiness. That all the books concur on. But many books differ. Some say right is black, some say left is black. So I've been looking for original source material all week, and I've found different points from different teachers. Some say left, some say right. So Rinpoche, I just once again wanted to check with him just to make sure what his lineage, the oral, because a lot of this is oral tradition from mouth to ear of student. So I wanted to just ask again because some doubts arose in far as root, where this root came from. So Rinpoche said, you imagine that all sentient beings are in the space in front of you, and you imagine that in the form of a white light, you imagine that this white light gives them all of your root virtues and all of your happiness, and you exhale out of your left nostril this white light that gives them all the forms of happiness and root virtues. You inhale through your right nostril all of their suffering, all forms of suffering and so forth, and negativity. So you take on their suffering in the form of a black light into your right nostril, and you give all root happiness to these sentient beings in the form of a white light through your left nostril. So right, inhale, left, exhale. Now, some of the commentaries, this is where I'm going to leave it at this, a lot of the detailed commentaries say you take the light from the black light from the right nostril of the sentient beings that are the objects into your left nostril. So that's different. That you're inhaling into your left instead of your right, but it's coming from their right. So let's leave it at that. Traditions get passed down. Our tradition says black light inhales through the right nostril, white light exhale through the left nostril. Tu Chenrezig Rinpoche. Ngatsu mambo tsanlo dansa. Banish the one to blame for everything. Meditate on the great kindness of all. We find this in the 7-point mind training text by Geshe Chikawa. And then place the two astride the breath, and then you're meditating. You're using the breath to meditate on love and compassion, the giving of love and the taking of suffering, which is compassion. So taking away their suffering is meditation on compassion. Giving them all forms of happiness is meditation upon love. Many, many commentaries don't say anything about nostrils. They just say inhale, suffering, exhale, happiness. But our oral tradition, and Rinpoche is going to find me a text. So I just pushed on, and I said, I want to see it in a book, just because that's me. So he's going to find the text, and I'll be able to come up with the actual root source for that. Because a few of us have been debating about it and looking for it, and that's where we are. If anyone else have a question, we also have a meeting, I know, right afterwards that... And then after this, maybe we'll end and do the prayers.
I don't want this to confuse anyone, but my question was, what was Monty Dayan's view that was to be negated? Did he have a wrong view of emptiness?
The Lama Meti Dayan, Dawa Gare. Kongi Dawa. Lama Shilupi Dawa, Gare. Dadzin Gare. He's not sure. He could have been a Samkhya school, an enumerator perhaps. He could have been a holder of various views of ancient Indian schools that were non-Buddhist at that time. They just assert him as a non-Buddhist. You could maybe find more detailed commentary on it. But non-Buddhist always asserts either nihilism or admission of a pure self, one or the other. True self or nihilism is where you end up with one or the other. Substantialism or nihilism. Okay, so we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. And then again, if everybody, just at the end, if we're having a board meeting, and some of us have to go right after, so if you could just, anyone who's not on the board, if you're going to meet, maybe just meet downstairs or outside out front, so we can have our meeting. Thank you.
One young lady and her dad came here.
Okay.
So they have some questions. The young lady does. She's doing a project right over there.
Okay. Okay. How? So we'll do that right before the meeting. Okay. It's just I have to get to work, so I might not be able to do the board meeting then, but that's more important. So we'll get your project done. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri, and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara, Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the Khensur Wanda, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts, exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denolan. Let's do a recording quickly.